Hey everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be telling you the top 5 myths about guitar and why they're not true and they actually are myths. So myth number 1 is that you need to start learning guitar on an acoustic guitar. Now I hate hearing this, and when I first started telling my mum that I wanted to learn playing guitar, the first thing she did, of course, is book me into some acoustic guitar lessons and bought me an acoustic guitar. But the reason I wanted to learn guitar was because I'd seen people like Guns N' Roses and AC/DC and Led Zeppelin, and I didn't want to learn acoustic guitar, I wanted to play like them. And that's a big reason why you don't need to learn on acoustic guitar. You can start on electric guitar because it inspires kids to learn more guitar and gives them more motivation because they've seen their heroes playing on an electric guitar, but then you hand them a wooden acoustic guitar and they don't sound like their heroes, and they just don't want to learn because they get frustrated because they don't sound like them. And in my opinion, an electric guitar is actually easier to learn on because there's some stuff on an acoustic guitar that you just can't do, like certain bends and pull-offs and hammer-ons. It just doesn't work. So I think an electric guitar is fine to start learning on. The second myth is that you need to be able to read music and notation and things like that. You honestly don't need to. There are so many famous guitarists out there that don't know how to read a line of music, and especially when you play rock and blues type music, a lot of it is about coming up with your own stuff from what you feel, and it's all about the feeling, so you don't really need to write down every little bit that you do because sometimes you might do a bend slightly differently, you might play a slightly different note the second time you play it around and it's not going to be the same every time. And you might think, okay, well what about learning guitar? How am I going to learn songs about being able to read music? And in all honesty, the best way to learn guitar is to listen to it by ear, to train your ear so you learn the notes by ear. But if you can't do that yet, the second best way is to read tabs. Tabs are a really easy form of music to read, and that's what most people learn how to read, and then they can learn pretty much any song from that. The third myth is that you need to play on thin strings when you're starting out because you'll cut your fingers and it might hurt your fingers. Now when you're first starting out, yeah, that's true. Normally beginners are kids and they have small fingers that aren't calloused, and they're going to need thin strings so that it doesn't hurt and rip their fingers open. But that is inevitable and you are going to cut your fingers anyway. But you have to think that everyone is different. Someone might start learning to play guitar when they're a 50-year-old man, and they might have strong hands and they don't need to play on thin strings because they might not even be able to feel them underneath them, so they might want to start on heavier strings. For me, I would just say start on the strings that your guitar comes with, and depending on how hard you're finding it to play on them, you might want to go up a gauge in string or down a gauge. If it's too easy, then play on heavier strings, and if it really hurts your fingers, play on lighter strings when you change them for the first time. The fourth myth is a controversial one, and it's that you don't need to know theory to be able to play guitar. Now, to some extent this is true. You can learn songs off of the internet. If you're in a cover band or something like that, yeah, you might not need to know theory because you're just learning songs off of the internet or off of your teacher. But most professional guitarists, even the rock guitarists that act like they're cool and they don't know the theory, do. I'm a massive fan of Slash, and I thought for years that he didn't know any theory, but recently, just last week, I watched a video with him explaining all the things that he does, all the chords that he goes through and the scales, and it taught me that actually he knows a lot more theory than he lets out and lets people know that he knows, because he tries to act cool, and for some reason it's not cool to know theory, so he pretends that he doesn't, when in actual fact he does know a lot of theory, and he knows exactly what he's doing and what chord he's playing under and the scales that he's using. However, when I say you do need to know theory, when you're just beginning out, you don't need to learn the heavy stuff and know all the technical terms. You can just get away with knowing the pentatonic scale, maybe the blues pentatonic scale, and the basic minor and major scales. I mean, that's all I really know at the moment. I'm not really good at my theory. And you can get away with improvising with just those things and learning songs, and you'll start to understand, and then as you play more, you'll learn more about the theory. The fifth and And final myth is another huge one, that you only need to learn how to play and know how to play in the genre of music that you want to play in as a guitar player. Now, although the main genre that you want to play in should obviously be what you focus on learning and learn scales that fit to that genre of music, but most rock guitarists, for example, know how to play the blues exceptionally well, and they go into rock playing using the pentatonic scale and things like that. But they know all of the blues theory, and they might even know some metal scales and things like that, because it's always useful to branch out and learn other genres and then add those notes and those scales that you learn into your normal playing in the genre that you like, and it can really spice your playing up. But yeah guys, that's my top 5 myths about learning to play guitar. I hope this video helped you and you can now go out with a bit more knowledge when you want to start playing guitar. If you did like the video, then please leave a like on it and subscribe to me, and comment down below any new videos you want to see from me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you with the next one. Bye.